in helping us have a better quality of life. And the best thing about it is it can be done naturally, because we were naturally made from the Garden of Eden's dust, so to speak. And I thought that was pretty good. We're all connected in some way, somehow. We're all looking forward to having the best quality of life and doing it with the least inconveniences on the part that we enjoy life with. That is, whether you like singing, dancing, going to the beach, whatever it is. We need to be able to have the joy unspeakable. In other words, get so excited that all people got to do is not ask you, but just look at your smile on your face and see how well you're doing. Yes, we are going to make sure that we share with you things that can benefit you and help you with a better quality of life. Today, August the 9th, in 2021, we're going to be talking about prevention. And we're going to talk specifically about prevention of prostate problems and working with those, because it is important that we know that there are things we can do naturally that will give us the opportunity not to have to be overtaken by some disease or dis-ease. Just to give clarification, PSA is what we're going to talk about, the testing of it. It's a way for the medical profession to find out what's going on. And that PSA is prostate specific antigen. So that's a blood marker they usually go by to come with and help us be able to work with that, find out what's going on, deal with things. And with that in mind, it is definitely recommended to do prevention. Don't wait until things get to the point that you could have done more for it than you can at this time. Can facilitate early detection, which I just said, thereby enabling therapies to be employed before cancer spreads to regional lymph nodes and distant metastasis occurs. So that's what we want to talk about, and some of the things, and give you some idea why this is important. But more important than why it's important is that you have at your disposal opportunity to be able to talk with your healthcare professionals and help educate them as well, because basically there's protocol, and I marked a spot and the thing fell out. There was a one about the tomato theory, and we need to talk about that a little bit as well. Yeah, tomato theory. But let me give you some staggering statistics. And this one here is from 2013. More than 238,000 new cases of prostate cancer are diagnosed yearly. Over 29,000 men die of prostate cancer yearly. That's from data from 2013. About 1 man in 6 will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. The average age of diagnosis is 67. Prostate cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death among American men. About 1 man in 36 will die from prostate cancer. So just to kind of give you some things and let you know that things can be done for that. If prostate cancer was an infectious illness, there would be widespread panic. To put this in perspective, HIV infested less than 50,000 Americans back in 2011. In 2013, they were urged all Americans to undergo routine HIV testing. And there's a valid reason for HIV screening, and more than 5 times more Americans are diagnosed with prostate cancer each year compared to HIV. So it's something that doesn't have to scare the heck out of you, but there is prevention in being able to do this and work with that. We have on our part accountability. I want to talk to you about vitamin D. That's important. I want to talk to you about zinc. And it has more uses. Every man, I think when the page, at least by the age of 50, needs to be taking zinc, a substitute with zinc, or start nibbling on and chewing some of those little green seeds called pumpkin seeds that are high in zinc and help to give the body what it needs from a food. And we're going to talk about foods a little bit today and what they can do for us. But since I brought up zinc, I had this little neat information I came across, and most of us, I don't think about zinc working with our probiotic and helping with our gastro health, but it does. And let me just read this to you about the gastro health and helping with the stomach environment and zinc. And some of these things you may just want to write down. Get your phone out, Google them, see what they have to say about them, and see if it's something that gives you enough interest in helping prevention or helping slow down things that you already know you got. But zinc helps to maintain a healthy stomach environment. Zinc, a trace element essential to many functions in your body, also promotes stomach health in a variety of ways. Now, and probiotics are very good. We need to make sure that we have good digestion, assimilation, and elimination. Zinc, a trace element, essential for many functions in your body, also promotes stomach health in a variety of ways. And when combined with amino acid derivative, carnosine, the effects of even more pronounced is because zinc combines with carnosine and it helps to promote good health. Delivers to the stomach wall where it's sticky and be able to hold it there and hold on to it. And you got to take care of that lining of that stomach. For you that are not thinking about it and just happen to be within the range of my voice, that if you would realize that that carbonated beverage you're drinking will take the acid and clean up battery poles in your car, what's it doing to the lining of your stomach? What's it doing to your immune system? So our carbonated beverages, definitely not in our best interest. And the thing about this for a moment, think about this. Those of us who started out with good bodies, those of us that quote unquote well, and then as things have birthdays, then we turn into wanting to know what's wrong because we neglected ourselves for so many years and didn't take care of it and put prevention at the top of our list. Okay. I'm going to exalt here because I want to talk more about prevention. Don't want to talk about the cancer aspect of it. We'll get there in a minute. Yeah, we can Aging results in a proliferation of cancer cells that is technically referred to benign prostatic hyperplasma. And so we're going to skip over that stuff, not worried about the drug intervention and what we do for that. And I want to get to the prevention. And what happened was those little pieces of paper that I had in here, marking each page that I was supposed to mark. I did get to what I started off the show about when I talked to you, avoid a tomato effect. I mean, I don't know about you, but one of the things I've already had today was a tomato sandwich. And and it didn't hurt me, didn't cause any problem. But back in the 1600s to 1800s, tomatoes were considered poison. And let me read you a little bit about this. The tomato effect was first described in the Journal of American Medical Association in 1984. It says that how doctors historically had ignored or rejected the treatment and did not fit with accepted theories of disease prevention treatment at the time. The tomato effect is named for a period from 1600s to early 1800s in America where tomatoes were considered poisonous and wherefore unsafe to eat. This fear persisted despite the fact that Americans knew Europeans were regularly eating tomatoes with no ill effect. And this perception of tomatoes changed in 1820 when a man ate a tomato on the steps of the New Jersey courthouse to provide and prove they are safe. Within a decade, Americans were regularly eating tomatoes that for over 200 years were considered poisonous. So what about all these things that are there for us that were created in the Garden of Eden, that God put them there for a particular purpose, and we have people that say you can't do that because it's poisonous. And we have now the opportunity to find out what the efficacy is, what the truth is, and what we should or should not be putting in our bodies physically, mentally, spiritually, etc. So the perception of the tomato changed in 1820. The guy got on the courthouse in New Jersey, said, "I'm going to eat one, y'all watch me die." He didn't die. And so more Americans said, well, if it didn't hurt him, let me try it myself. You know, we have a strong propensity as human beings to remember negative detail. We love negative. News media, we love negative. The human failings have caused many physicians and patients to reject 5-alpha, reductive inhibitors because they recall something about a more high-grade prostate tumor in men called Proscar or Avodart. Never mind hard facts showing the opposite. People today want a summary, curbside answer for stuff, and we just need to be able to understand that maybe some of the things that we think are wrong are right, and when the things that we try to make right wrong, we've got to get to the point of being able to know that God's bigger than us, and we shouldn't argue with the person that made us. Okay, enough about that. Just thought the tomato theory was pretty doggone good. All right. Now we're getting to the point, and what I've got right here, I got my highlighters, all the stuff in here that's so unique. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag start with and let you know that tea, soy, lichens, and cruciferous vegetables have something to do with our well-being and our wellness. Men who regularly consume certain plant foods have sharply lowered rates of prostate cancer. Studies show that cauliflower, broccoli, flax lichens, soy isolates, or soy isoflavones, protect against a host of diseases, including prostate cancer. In 2013, study reported that soy food consumption more regularly in the Asian population is associated with 25 to 30% reduced risk of prostate cancer. There's a lot of confusion about soy in the alternative health community. Everyone agrees that limited intake of soybean oil is important because it is loaded with omega-6 fats. Other constituents found in soy, however, such as S-genistein and dinosine, have demonstrated anti-prostate cancer mechanisms. So there's some things that are for, some things that are against. So this is where we get to the meat of what we're talking about on this broadcast. Okay? A natural arsenal, natural ways to fight prostate cancer through prevention. There's a remarkable new study has been validated, and a method to slow prostate progressions have been long recommended. And there's a company that's called Life Extension, and they reach out to their customers and talk to them about it. The annual gathering of the American Society of Clinical Oncology is considered the world's most prestigious cancer forum. More than 25,000 oncologist experts attend this meeting, and the media eagerly reports on meaningful advances in cancer prevention and treatment. So, with that, without going through all the data, let's put it in this, that pomegranate seed, broccoli, green tea, and turmeric, they were all put in one capsule, taken together, twice a day. Okay, took 2 capsules a day, and then over a 6-month period, the median PSA levels increased only 14.7%. Those who took the supplement, compared to 78.5% in the placebo. So it did some good. And baseline values for a compelling 46% of the supplement patients, but only 14% of the placebo patients. So, 1 in 6. And pomegranate seed, green tea, broccoli, turmeric, and turmeric is a source of curcumin, were so effective in prostate cancer patients that the oncologists got excited about. A comprehensive defense against prostate cancer involves healthy diet, dietary supplemental products, hormone balance, and screening of your PSA. The foods and nutrients described therein have been documented in published studies to target prostate cancer and help prevent or to keep it from developing into cancer. As a bonus, they also conferred huge protection against other age-related disorders. Not only did those 4 ingredients help with people who were being tested for prostate, there was side benefits, which were great. Let's talk about nutrients like flaxseed. And what the flax seeds do is provide a rich supply of ligands and flaxseed fatty acids. And prostate cancer had lower levels, and the numbers were brought down for people who took flaxseed. So that was a good thing. And you can look up flaxseed, find out all the different things that it is good for. Boron. Suggestion that supplement boron may help to shrink prostate tumors while also decreasing levels of PSA is exciting. In addition to being an important prostate cancer marker, may also be a contributor to prostate cancer promotion. In other words, in addition to being a prominent prostate cancer maker, this PSA, when it's out of whack, it can be leveled down. Higher boron levels in the blood lower the risk of prostate cancer by reducing intertracheal calcium in storage at a normal concentrate. Boron operates effectively inhibiting prostate cancer cell proliferation while allowing normal prostate cells to grow. Boron. Cruciferous vegetables like say broccoli, that in recent studies 3 phytochemicals derived from cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli have been able to be used and lessen the effect and bring down the numbers. Vitamin D. Cancer is essentially caused by the genetic mutations that occur over lifespan. So if this is happening over a span of our life, if there's something we can do for prevention, and what's wrong with saying, okay, I'm going to put cauliflower, I'm going to put broccoli on my list of things to have and to eat, and give the body the opportunity to use the interworkings of that fruit, that vegetable, that cruciferous vegetable specifically we're talking about, that it can be taken to help my health. And then when I go do my prevention and go take the blood work and come back and see what is happening in my prostate, then I can say it must be doing some good because that problem is not there. I think that's what we need to kind of work with. Green tea extract. Another item that we can use within our body, our mind, soul, and spirit to help us understand that it is good for us. Omega-3 fatty acids. And another one, curcumin, strikes at multiple targets in the prostate center. And what it does, this is something that we have talked about for the last 20 years. It's something called apoptosis. And the curcumin strikes at a multiple target in prostate cancer. It induces apoptosis, interferes with the spread of cancer cells, and regulates inflammatory response through the master regulatory. They got all these little numbers and things. Bottom line, can eliminate inflammation. Talk about those apoptosis, and what happened there is kind of cool. The American Cancer Society did some studies, and they did these studies on red raspberries, specifically meager red raspberries out of Washington State. And when they gave these two, and they did studies with cancer patients, that the red raspberries reversed and helped to get rid of or contain the cancer cells. Apoptosis, red raspberries. And here we talk about other things that are beneficial. Coenzyme Q10. Low blood levels of coenzyme Q10 have been found in patients with a variety of cancer types. We need our coenzyme Q10. And as we get older, need them more than ever. Gamma tocopherol vitamin E. Vitamin E, another one of those vitamins that help us quality of life. Lycopene is a carotenoid occurring abundantly in tomatoes. Now, here we are. We started off and you talked about the thing that tomatoes were poisonous. Then all of a sudden now we're finding out that tomatoes have lycopene. And that is something that has the carotenoids. And, you know, there have been studies, especially in people who love to juice, when they use juice carrots. And yeah, your skin may turn a little bit orangey yellow if you start eating that many carrots a day, but the carrots themselves with the carotenoids help to change the value of the cancer. Scientists found that lycopene works by reducing oxidative stress in prostate tissue, lowering inflammatory signaling, preventing DNA damage, modulating expansion of the endocrine growth factors, and may block cancer cells from growing out of control through enhanced communication between cancer cells as gap induction. So, carrot juice, selenium. And on that, you know, we're going to talk about vitamin E. We did a little bit about that. I think vitamin E is really good when you put selenium with it. The body only needs small quantities of selenium. However, blood levels of this mineral decrease with age. So, and if it decreased with age and it was there to help prevention of prostate cancer, then maybe we should put more into our system to offset what we're not having available because of the birthdays. Gotta be something to consider, right? Yeah. And this other thing, zinc. Evidence suggests that zinc may play an important and direct role in the prostate. For example, studies found that total zinc levels in the prostate are much higher than in other soft tissue in the body. And those with prostate cancer have been shown to have exceedingly low levels of zinc in the prostate. So that would be something to check into. Find out what zinc levels are. See what it is that your healthcare provider can recommend that you do. Milk thistle, the ingredients in milk thistle, silymarin, may help block cancer cell development and growth. It was found to contain one or more constituents that induce cancer cell apoptosis and caused it to have cell division promoting qualities. So, is this technical? It can be. Is it important? Very much so. Is it something that you should know? Yeah. Is there anybody else going to tell you about this if I don't? More than likely not. So, I may pronounce a few words incorrectly and not get into all the technical stuff. But the bottom line is, I'm a man. I'm past 60s. And one of the things that I should be concerned about and tested for is prostate cancer. So it's very important to me, and it's very important to you. And if you're a female and say, well, so what about prostate cancer? I can't get prostate cancer. Definitely understood. So, but do you care about the man you're with? Do you care about your sex life and being able to perform with him who could have a procedure that would eliminate the normal sexual activity? If that's important to you, then maybe it's something you need to look into and see how well you can do with it. Pomegranate. I remember the first time I ate one was in China, and it's kind of cool. The use of the pomegranate juice, peel, oil have been shown to process anti-cancer activities, including interference with tumor growth proliferation, cell cycle, invasiveness. Apoptosis was implicated as a mechanism for its interference with prostate cancer, and this was done in the laboratory and came out saying that it is important to maybe consider what the properties of our pomegranate to have a better quality of life without having to worry about weakness in the body trying to overcome us. Saw palmetto is one of those, it's pretty well known. But I think that I'll just read this little bitty thing right here. In one study, researchers described how they used saw palmetto extract to slow the growth of prostate cancer cells in vitro. This growth inhibitory effect was more potent on prostate cancer cells than any other cancer cell lines on which they tested saw palmetto. In other words, they did it, it worked, and they got good results from it. Resveratrol, by working through over a dozen anti-cancer mechanisms and selectively targeting cancer cells, resveratrol inhibited prostate cancer at multiple stages of development. Important. At different stages of cancer development. Look up some studies. Check it out. Talk to whoever your healthcare professional is and see what you can do about it. Then there's the ligands, supplements, plant sources or rich sources of ligands. If nothing else in this program we're talking about is that you realize that there are opportunities, there are suggestions, there is research to know that you can take and not be a victim of prostate cancer because of the things in the natural realm that God created. That's just why I'm talking about all this stuff. Beta-cysternol, ginger, N-acetylcysteine, quercetin, inositol, reishi, a mushroom, bonzuela, watercress, grapeseed, and then to sum it up, the 4 nutrient supplement pomegranates, broccoli, green tea, and turmeric. So mushrooms important. Bonzuela and watercress. I mean, these are some things that you can purchase at your grocery store. Eat them fresh. It's okay. Get grapes with seed in them. Get watermelon with seed in them. Put it in a blender. Beat them all up. The seeds represent new life. A continuation of the watermelon is because it produces a seed instead of being genetically modified. So therefore, we have the capability and the promise that if we use something like watermelon seed and we eat it, then it would actually work with the urinary system. I know Rich, cancer. He flushed his system with watermelon every day, seeds and all. Crushed them up. And for some healing mechanism, cancer was put in remission. I am just bringing out knowledge and information that could be a benefit to you. Check it out. Don't do it because I said it was something I did or the book talked about that got this results. Love yourself enough to find out if there are things you can do when you become, God says, heal yourself. You are the one that understands this body, or maybe I should rephrase that. You should be the person that understands the body you live in better than anybody else. Understand the aches and the pains. Understand the association with this particular problem and this thing that's going on in your life, and why the negativity is causing the body to respond in a negative way. Garbage in, garbage out. Speak it, folks. Words have weight. Words have healing. Word has devastation. If you want to know why I say that, and I'm finding out more and more, and not realizing that it slipped up on me over the years, that the generation that's coming along, they don't believe heaven or hell. They believe just because I'm a good person that I'm going to be okay, and a good God's not going to send a good person to hell. Hell don't exist, first of all. Bottom I'm trying to get across is, love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Okay, let's get on here for a minute, talk a few things. Here's kind of a summary, a little bit not quite checkout time here. This nutrients that have been shown in published scientific studies to help reduce prostate cancer risk. It's been shown. Why is it not part of the therapy? Why isn't more people doing, like the Cancer Center Treatments of America? They do more. I personally think they stop short, but it does make lifestyle a little bit better for people that are trying to endure. But these nutrients function by multiple mechanisms to inhibit the development and progression of prostate cancer and or induce cancer cells apoptosis. Apoptosis is just like, hey, those cells are gone. They have been destroyed. That's what apoptosis means. And we know the studies that the American Cancer Society did on the red raspberries and published in their publication a long time ago. So with that in mind, should have been used and added to protocol a long time ago. Let's see, where was I at? Talked about that. The latest research, including a remarkable controlled clinical trial, reveals the dramatic effectiveness of combining some of those nutrients in men who failed initial treatment for prostate cancer. This is the kind of controlled study that mainstream doctors look to have when assessing the efficacy of a particular therapy. Aging men have an incredible opportunity to reduce their risk of prostate cancer, and while doing so, protect against most other degenerative diseases as well. I need to repeat that to you. Listen carefully. Aging men. And if you're young, hopefully you will have the opportunity to become put in that category. have an incredible opportunity to reduce their risk of prostate cancer. And while doing so, protect against most other degenerative diseases as well. Information, knowledge, there for us to be able to accept, to have, to hold, to learn from, and to have a great opportunity to be able to take advantage of. One, green tea has a unique contribution to the prostate cancer fighting pill as a result of special combination of naturally occurring polyphenols helping along with that as well. So, turmeric. Combination to the prostate cancer fighting, and is able to keep it from spreading a lot of times. But the whole turmeric root contains this plus others, important oils and other substances that enhance curcumin's absorbability into the body to help fight and become what's known as anti-cancer. Turmeric's components also inhibit cancer cells proliferation, restore cancer cells' ability to be normally by apoptosis, and decrease the density of blood vessels needed for tumor expansion. So, starve it to death with food. Amazing. Broccoli. Unique combination to the prostate cancer fighting pill is its ability to up-regulate phase 2 of detoxifying enzyme in the gut and the liver tissue, enabling the body to render harmless thousands of potentially carcinogens molecules in our diet. So, prostate cancer is a paradox. It's typically slow-growing rate, makes it possible to treat if discovered early, but once it has metastasized, it is often considered lethal. The combinations of 4 widely spread recognized cancer-fighting foods, pomegranate, green tea, turmeric, and broccoli, are there to help be able to fight that. Your life, your health, your total well-being are in the hands of the man, and you got to put it in there, of Galilee. He came back to restore. He came back to regain what had been stolen from us. He came back to let us know that God is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. And whether you believe it or not, He gave you a choice to choose this day who you will serve. What are you going to do right now? Everything's fine. But what you going to do when you're faced with the adversity? What mechanisms are there for you to be able to use and be able to have health and wellness? Because you know which fruit of the tree that is permitted to eat from. and you know which tree, the one of good and evil, that is just going to destroy and take away joy. We've got to go back to our foundation and to our roots. We've got to understand that God is in the process of giving us the ability to choose what He has to offer for us, or we choose what man created from his laboratory, and it's not what was made in the Garden of Eden. So, are we in a position at this day and this time in our lives? We're being pressured. We're being maybe taken advantage of for somebody's material gain. The truth will come out. And then when the truth is spoken and we have met, the scales fall from our eyes, and we can see truth for truth, a lie for a lie, and we can roll forward. And it's not because of someone else's understanding, but it's our understanding that we are worth enough, we are special enough, that our God will talk directly to us and tell us what's important and what He suggests we do to receive the life abundantly that we want. We've got to get to the point where we will prosper in life as our soul prospers. We ask for the blinds to be, and by blinds, I'll move to the side here for a second. When I used to plow and work in the fields with the horse, and my cousins used mules, on the bridle fit on the head with the lines to it, but on the, right up here by the eyes, there were blinders. And so what was on the side couldn't be seen. But it kept the beast of burden moving forward, eyes on the end of the road, waiting to get there so it could take a small break, turn around, and go back the other way. We're going to have to be smart enough to put blinders on so we can not be intimidated. I don't know how many of you guys your cell phone, and all of a sudden you get this little pop button comes on, and it says you got a message, you got mail. Interrupts all the time unless you cut it off. But we are so starved for knowledge. I mean, we've got higher learning, higher than it's ever been in our lifetimes, with the ability to conquer. And what do? We take the knowledge and information and probably don't use it to the best of man's ability to be where he wants to go and can. I mean, I grew up, go to the moon, go to another planet, search the unknown. Well, folks, the unknown is right here. We're not listening to what's in our space. We're not listening in what our levels of comprehension are, that we can be able to understand truth as truth, and not as man wants to interpret it, but as God wants him to perceive it. It's going to get better. Yeah. Because if you watch it, Those who live by the sword, die by the sword. Those who live by the book, live by the book, and will overcome everything. Death, world, and the flesh. It's been my pleasure to share with you. Come check us out at Remedy This Naturally. Some of my stuff may be over the head, and it may not be, but if you can pick out the parts you want that'll be there for you to have life and have it abundantly, we've achieved our goal. God bless you. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. May good health be yours, and check out Remedy This Naturally.